Hello, everyone. When Mother Nature gets angry, the boundaries humans once believed unshakable can be swept away in an instant. From sudden flash floods and erupting volcanoes to howling storms, every image is a powerful reminder of nature's unpredictable might. Have you ever witnessed such a terrifying moment in real life? Let's dive into these dramatic situations where nature unveils its raw power, leaving the whole world holding its breath. An intense downpour on the afternoon of May 20th, 2025, turned Mapusa, Goa into a city underwater. Streets became rivers, motorcycles and cars were submerged up to their wheels, and residents struggled to move through the rushing water. This is a stark reminder of today's weather instability, where even a single storm can shake an entire city. At Navajo Beach, Zakynthos Island, due to the effects of waves and weather, a large section of cliff unexpectedly cracked and tumbled down onto the sandy shore below. Nearby, tourists scrambled in panic, rushing to get away from the rockfall. A large hillside suddenly collapsed in China, creating a breathtaking and terrifying scene. Fortunately, those standing nearby were at a safe distance and unharmed. Once again, nature reminds us that complacency can come with a heavy price. A powerful tornado tore through rural Texas, USA, ripping up trees, power lines, and structures in mere seconds. The terrifying winds made the ground tremble, leaving behind a scene of complete devastation. It's a chilling reminder that the ferocity of nature should never be underestimated, and being prepared can mean the difference between safety and disaster. A sudden hailstorm pelted down, transforming an empty playground into a field covered in white hailstones. Moments later, large hailstones struck windows, shattering glass with cracks spreading across the surface. This scene is a strong reminder. Nature's fury can arrive swiftly. Always seek safe shelter when a storm is approaching. A massive boulder unexpectedly fell, blocking the entire road just as people were waiting for the route to reopen. Thankfully, no one was standing directly at the impact point. When nature lashes out, even a 1-second delay can change everything forever. A large mass of snow suddenly tumbled down, startling the crowd filming nearby. Moments later, panic erupted as they fled, realizing the snow was closing in fast. That moment serves as a reminder. Don't get so caught up observing that you forget to keep a safe distance. Due to strong winds combined with harsh weather, a giant sandstorm unexpectedly formed offshore, slowly approaching the beach. As the dense dust cloud rolled in, beachgoers remained mesmerized, hesitating to leave. Because of excessive snow buildup on the rooftop, the snow began sliding off, creating a mesmerizing cascade of white. Two people standing nearby, captivated and filming, didn't realize that within seconds, the entire mass would crash down right in front of them. At a sports arena in Dagupan, Philippines, under the impact of Super Typhoon Doksuri, the roof began shaking violently and weakening. At that moment, the athletes were still playing basketball when suddenly a large section of the roof collapsed onto the court. Fortunately, everyone managed to run to safety in time, and no one was harmed. A devastating earthquake tore through a residential area in seconds. Roofs were ripped off, the ground cracked open, and thick dust rose into the sky. This haunting moment reminds us that nothing remains solid when nature unleashes its fury. A pitch-black tornado suddenly formed in the middle of a construction site, swirling up dirt and creating a terrifying scene. The once clear sky turned ominous in an instant. Nature always has a way of startling us and reminding us of its unstoppable power. A sudden dust devil formed and charged straight into a parking area, kicking up dirt and shaking the entire zone. Parked cars were quickly blanketed in a thick cloud of dust. When nature lashes out, even a small shift in the weather can turn everything upside down. Always stay alert. What seems harmless at first can become dangerous in an instant. Under a glowing red sky and swirling black smoke, flames spread dangerously close to a seaside resort, sending residents and tourists fleeing in panic. In just minutes, a peaceful getaway turned into the center of a natural disaster. When nature erupts, no one can predict what comes next. Due to sudden weather changes, a whirlwind unexpectedly formed and swept across a roadway, carrying dust, leaves, and small debris flying in all directions. In an instant, visibility turned hazy, the wind howled fiercely, and vehicles on the road had to slow down or stop and wait. As a result, the entire area was blanketed in a cloud of white dust, and traffic was temporarily halted. In July 2023, in Rocky Mount, North Carolina, USA, an unexpected tornado formed, swirling dust, debris, and various objects high into the air. Immediately, the sky turned gray. The wind howled violently, causing vehicles on the road to stop, and many people sought shelter inside their cars. On Riga Ferraio Street, at the border between Neapoli and Psyches, prolonged heavy rain caused water levels to rise and flow swiftly along the road. At that moment, a delivery driver attempted to ride his motorbike through the rushing water. But the current was too strong and swept away both the bike and the packages. Fortunately, the driver managed to grab onto a nearby railing and stay safe. A heavy downpour suddenly turned the street into a rushing stream, sweeping away everything in its path. The scene clearly revealed the sheer power of nature and the vulnerability of urban areas in the face of climate change. In Maracaibo, Aragua State, Venezuela, the Palmarito River suddenly overflowed after days of heavy rain, carrying mud and floodwaters that surged through the streets. In moments, numerous vehicles were submerged, and trees and debris were swept away in the turbulent flow. As a result, the entire area was left covered in mud. Traffic came to a standstill, and residents had to evacuate urgently. In Bahrain, Swat, prolonged heavy rain caused floodwaters to rise, sweeping away several riverside structures. In an instant, a large house was washed away and disappeared into the muddy current. Fortunately, residents had evacuated in time. This situation reminds us, during heavy rain, quickly move to higher ground and follow all warnings. Along the AP6 highway, a prolonged snowstorm left numerous vehicles stranded, buried under snow and ice. For 12 hours, drivers and passengers had to wait in freezing conditions, unable to start their vehicles. This situation is a reminder: when traveling in winter, always prepare adequate warm supplies and check weather forecasts. A powerful storm swept through Kranj, tearing off the entire roof of a large building, sending debris flying in all directions. In mere seconds, the roof was gone, leaving witnesses stunned. A reminder: nature is unpredictable. Always be thoroughly prepared. A towering wall of black clouds rolled down from the sky like a waterfall, engulfing the road in a breathless instant. This awe-inspiring scene didn't just overwhelm the senses, it served as a striking reminder that nature can shift in an instant. What would you do if a storm like that came bearing down on you? As Typhoon Raleigh swept through Palangui Albay, the roof of a building was blown away by strong winds, exposing the devastated interior. Two people stood outside, silently filming and gazing at the ruins. A moment that reminds us: prioritize safety over risking your life to capture footage during natural disasters. Prolonged, heavy rain caused a shopping mall in China to unexpectedly flood, with rushing water pouring through stores, submerging clothes, shelves, and forcing everyone to seek higher ground. This moment reminds us: natural disasters can strike anywhere. Never be complacent. This is the moment an entire section of a mountainside suddenly collapsed, creating a disaster movie-like scene. The sound of earth and rocks crashing down sent chills through everyone watching. Nature gives no warning, which is why living near slopes should always be carefully considered to avoid unthinkable consequences. After days of heavy rain, the soil on the hillside became unstable, leading to a major landslide that blocked the Inter-American Route 98. Earth and rocks crashed down, covering the entire road and bringing traffic to a complete halt. Locals and vehicles were forced to stop and wait for emergency crews to clear the debris. Due to prolonged heavy rain, mud cascaded down from higher ground, turning the streets of Petropolis into a raging mud flow. A car was swept away, repeatedly crashing into debris in the murky water. In just moments, the entire neighborhood was buried in thick mud, leaving a scene of devastation. Severe flooding transformed a bustling street into a river running through the city. People waded through knee-deep water, holding umbrellas as they carefully crossed. A powerful reminder: always monitor weather alerts and take proactive measures to ensure the safety of yourself and your loved ones. A devastating flash flood swept through Lumajang, Indonesia on July 7, 2023, submerging the entire riverside area. The raging waters tore off rooftops, carried away everything in their path, and roared with deafening force. When heavy rains persist, don't be complacent, move to higher ground quickly, and follow guidance from local authorities.